Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster, and I thought I'd do just a really short video today on a new piece of kit that I've picked up, and that is a new pocket knife. It's the Spyderco Paramilitary II. Little bit of an aggressive sounding name, I know, and not normally the kind of thing I'd usually go for, but I've been looking at these for a little while, and I decided to treat myself a couple of weeks ago, so I've had this for a few weeks now. I've been playing around with it, and overall I'm quite impressed. It's not what I would consider to be a bushcraft knife. It's not the sort of thing that I would generally take out in the field with me, and because it's got a locking blade and it's over 3 inches, it's not UK carry legal, so it's something I generally use around the home. I could potentially get away with it at work, but to be honest I've got no real need to, so really it's just something that I keep with me when I'm at home. I use it in the workshop, I might use it indoors for opening boxes and packages and things like that, but that's not to say it wouldn't work well in a bushcraft setting if it's the only thing you've got. Now first and foremost, I generally tend to keep it in my jeans pocket here. It's got a nice little belt clip on it, keeps it nice and secure, lets you take it out quite easily, and the way it sits in my pocket here, having the belt clip on the outside, means that I can sort of move my hand. It's all one-handed opening, so you can open it really easily. It's got a lock on the back, and I'll go in a bit more detail on that in a second, and it's just a really nice feeling knife. Mechanism's really smooth. One of the things I like about it, because it is such a smooth mechanism, try that again. If you give it a little flick, you can open it really quickly. You know, you can do a nice controlled movement like this. Alternatively, give it a little flick and it's straight open in your hand. Now, really, to me, that's more of how can I put this? You know, it's more of a sort of a self-defense kind of thing. You know, this is an American-made knife, or at least as far as I know, and it's I know these are very popular in the States for kind of personal defense carry, which is obviously something we can't do in the UK here. But I can imagine that sort of pulling that out of your pocket, going like this, you know, it's there and it's ready to use. That's not the reason I bought it. And the other benefit of this locking system here is that what you can do is, just one-handed, you can open the lock and you can close the knife, and for me it's just that kind of real easy to use one-handed operation. If I'm doing something with the other hand, I can get it open, I can do what I need to do, I can close it again, and I can slip it back in my pocket, and I really like that. Again, I'm not sure that's what it was designed for in terms of why it's so easy to open, but again, that's just my view on it. So moving on then to the blade. So let me give you a little bit of a close-up here. So obviously it's got quite an acute point on there, and again, without knowing too much about the design of this, you know, it certainly looks like it's been designed as a sort of a self-defense style knife. Yeah, otherwise why would you need such an acute point? That's certainly my view on it. I could be wrong and I stand to be corrected, but all in all, you know, it's a really nice shaped blade. It's got a nice length to it. The one problem I find with the UK legal knives is sometimes, because they're so short, you can be a little bit restricted in what you can do. The fact you've got a good strong lock on this as well means I can use it for things that I might otherwise be a little bit cautious with. So I'll give you an example. This is the blade as it came out of the box, and one thing I know that Spyderco are really well known for is having sort of really good quality sharp blades straight out the box, ready to use. So I've got a little offcut here with absolutely no pressure whatsoever, just literally letting the weight of the blade plus a little bit of my hand here just pulling through it, and you can see the sort of the fineness of the shavings that we're getting off of this. So again, if we're looking at a bushcraft setting, if I want to make, let's say, some feather sticks, this is absolutely no problem for this knife. So if I was going out and maybe I just wanted to have a pocket knife on me, so that I could do a little bit of bushcrafting, no real heavy work, you know, I can make a really good easy side. I think my shirt's clashing with this a little bit. Move out the way a bit, there we go. So you can get some really nice shavings for a feather stick on this, no problem at all. You can also take, if maybe you're carving something, you know, you can take some real nice sweeping chunks very easily, and you know, that's exactly what you want it for. So that's the blade. One thing I don't normally do with my knives, and I'm not a huge advocate of this because I don't think it proves very much, but I'm going to do it anyway because a lot of other channels seem to be doing it. So as I say, this is out of the box. I haven't even stropped this blade. This is a piece of newspaper. It's been in my workshop for a while. I wouldn't say it's damp, but it's certainly not as dry as it would be if it was indoors with this sort of central heating on. And it's a little bit too damp, but you know, this is just cutting straight through this paper, and this is akin to my Mora or my Ray Mears. You know, this has got an extraordinarily sharp blade on it. I mean, this is slightly damp, as I say, but as soon as you get that cut started, you know, if I can find the right angle to get a decent cut started, this is just sliding through this, you know, like it's nothing. And that's with slightly damp paper. So moving on then to the handle, you've got a G10 for the scales. Really nice, really comfortable. When the blade is open, it just feels really nice in your hand. You've got a little chol down here. Put your finger in to sort of steady yourself if you're doing any kind of sort of detail work. You've got a nice little thumb stop here as well, both of which have got this kind of jimping on them, so that you've got a nice, your thumb's not going to slip off of there or here. And also, if you are closing the blade in the more traditional way of sort of pushing the lock and then rolling down like this, you've got enough there to stop you closing the blade on your finger. Which is really useful, because the amount of time I've seen knives where, if you imagine this wasn't here, so let's put my finger a bit further down, you close the blade, and if you're not paying attention, you can close that, what is, as I've just shown you, a really sharp blade straight on your finger. That's certainly not something that you want to happen. So I mean, really that was it, guys. It was just a real short mini review of this knife. I've been using it for a few weeks now. It's been really useful for me just around the home and around the workshop. If I need to cut a bit of string, if I need to open something or what have you, it works really well. Cost me, what did I pay for this? I think it was £120 all in. That's very expensive in my opinion for a folding lock knife. But to be honest, I think it was worth the money. It's one of the sort of the mid-range, mid to higher range knives. Normally, you know, I would pay £20–30 or something for a decent quality lock knife. I've wanted one of these for quite a while, so I thought I'd splash out, and I haven't been disappointed. You certainly don't need to spend that much on a lock knife, but I actually really do like this, and it'll certainly be my knife of choice for just sort of pottering around the workshop, in the garden, while I'm at home, that kind of thing. But I hope it was useful, guys. Comments and questions, anything you want to know about this knife, any queries you've got about it, just drop them in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.